weatherman, when's this hot weather gonna break? It is really steamy. Only 91 on the clock time and temp right now. We're in between lawns. 5:11, 91 degrees. Only 91 degrees. Humidity is through the roof. The feels like it's at least 10 degrees, 15 degrees hotter than that. But all week long, we're in a period of like rain overnight, or at rain over. Well, there's going to be rain overnight tonight, but rain, you know, like just your typical summer thunderstorms. But it's like every day there's a chance of it. We missed out on it yesterday. Yesterday I was absolutely exhausted. So I just did 2 by me. I could have done, I wanted to do 4 after my job. I only did 2 that were like 30 seconds down the road from me. And you know, but I wanted to do more, but whatever. And I thought today might have been a washout. Turns out it wasn't. So I'm doing the 2 that the 2 that I missed yesterday. And it is what it is. It's so hot that I'm exhausted from my other job. I'm doing something a little slightly different. Oh, same thing, but you know, a little bit more work this summer. So I'm feeling it when I get home. You know, it's important to, you know, if you do this as a part-time job, you want to have something where you have the energy to come home and work. And all year I've, you know, with the handful of days. Check out this video. That's around this property. I don't know if you can see that. I want to do something like that. Look at all these trees that look like they got taken down. Yikes. We had some nasty storms roll in last week, and the last week, right before the 4th and the 3rd, that took down some trees and branches. But anyhow, I'm all over the place. Just trying to think of, you know, my scheduling going ahead. We have that. Tomorrow will be my big property. After that, the house that I did all the work for, they're having the pictures taken on Sunday. So she asked me to mow Friday or Saturday. So I'll mow there Friday or Saturday, and then Friday or Saturday, whichever day, the opposite day, I'll spend out there. I'm going to spend some time, because what I told her I'd do, you know, obviously for an upcharge here, upsell the customer, is they kind of have a small little lawn that was put in that was new by the pool area, but their woods are kind of like ferns and weeds and whatever, and honestly, if you trim it, from at least coming down the driveway, it looks like, and I don't want to like fake sell the person buying this house, but it looks like it could either be the lawn, or at least it looks a lot more green. So we'll kind of trim that to make that all look somewhat uniform, and that'll be good there. Here, gonna be on scene in about 30 seconds here, and this is every other week, which is fine, but we've been getting so much rain that, you know, I prefer to go 10 days or so, but it's just, my schedule's been so tough that it's been exactly 2 weeks to the day. But they opted originally to have their front, part of their front lawn, they want like overgrown. I don't really know why, but you know, I just hate pulling up and doing this lawn. I like doing this lawn. The money's good. It's like not a lot of stress, but like you could see right here. I'll show you, and then I'll cut the video because I really want to work. But you can see right behind this rock wall, all that growth. But that's kind of what they wanted. So you know, whatever. To each their own. But I'm on site now, and we're gonna knock this one out and then head home for the day. Everybody have a good one. Peace. Alright, we're gonna do a little part two. We're wrapped up. Time and temp 5:53, 89 degrees. We're on our way home. Still nasty. Look at me, you can see how drenched I am. But as far as getting it done, we were able to get it done before the rain. Clouds are starting to kind of come in. So it is what it is in that regard. But anyway, growth on that lawn is really not bad. I wanted to show you a clip of what they let grow over the course of the season. Now that hasn't been touched since all year. Which I don't know why. I don't know if they're looking for a little more privacy. There's a better way to do that in my opinion. But they're very into the landscaping just differently than everybody else. They're more like I don't want to say like hippies, but like more like wholesome, like in touch with the earth, rather than like commercial, like boxwoods, arborvitaes, your typical, like, they're more like, oh, we have this plant growing, we have that plant growing. I'm like, it looks weedy to me, but whatever. I got to each their own, it's their home. I'm charging them the same price, so I didn't upcharge them with the move, with the new resident. I didn't raise the price, I left it at what the last person was getting. But we're doing quite a bit of, I shouldn't say quite a bit less work, but we're probably doing like 20 or so % less work for the same price. And that % of work is kind of rough on the mower. That was like real rocky terrain. I would have the deck raised all the time, and it just wasn't great for the equipment. So, there's still kind of a rough lawn on the Skag on that one. It just is what it is, but it could be worse. Everything could be worse. As we wrap up the week, I got texted again to be reminded about the pictures that are being taken of one of the properties here. I feel bad. I told them I'd give them a recommendation on something they want done, and I honestly don't know who to recommend. I can give them a list of who not to use, but I don't know. I might just give a random person I've never worked with a recommendation based off of Facebook reviews or something like that. Which to each their own. You could do that. I don't know, looking ahead, tomorrow's weather looks to be cooler and better, less of a rain chance, and we're on a lawn that doesn't really get wet because it's going to get very wet tonight. There's going to be like flash flooding tonight, so that's something to think about when planning your lawns ahead. Just hot week. Some bi-weeklies this week that we, 3 of them, we got the bi-weekly that all landed. I have 4 total, so I used to have it kind of 2 and 2 to even the week out, but just so happened that, I don't know, the way they kind of worked out and fallen, or 3 and 2, or 3 and 1. So actually that's a lie. I have 5. I had we're going 4 and 1. This is the trailer just being recognized here as we started the drive. But I have 5. The one that's being sold is a bi-weekly as well. So, but I don't know. They were trying to be aggressive here and get in, and I'm dropping my phone. I don't know. That was a bi-weekly that kind of went to a weekly because they were here every week, and we haven't mowed them in 2 weeks, so they're going to be mowed. But I don't know if I'm rambling, but I talked about in the end of the last clip blending some of the greenery in the woods, kind of just trimming everything down and making it look somewhat uniform. So we're going to do that either Friday or Saturday. Gotta let this guy know, yes, I'll be there Friday or Saturday, I promise. And yeah, we'll end it on that note. Probably won't film the rest of the week. There's nothing. It's just mowing. It's boring. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I got a bunch of requests for work. Somebody called me. We're at a lead through Angie's Leads. I try and usually always turn off, but whatever, I forgot. So I got them. Wanted to talk about them not. They were extremely nice on the phone. I don't want to say they weren't happy with my price, but I kind of. They only have a half acre of mowable, and I told them minimum 70. And I'm sorry. I know there's probably people out there doing it cheaper, but you know, that's just where the company's at. Minimum $70. Would love to get that. It is on a busy road though, but she's like, "Do you want to come see it?" I was like, "I can." But I honestly don't have time, and I'm like, a half acre's a half acre, even if there's a little trimming. Minimum 70, you know, do that, no problem. I told her I could get her in this week if she like, and we'll leave it at that. And then one of my clients, I actually spoke to both of those bi-weeklies yesterday. They both called me on the mower. The first one has a bunch of landscapes, so she's a very nice lady, but she's on the cheaper side. But to each their own. You know, you don't really care about you, or you don't value it, I should say. But she has a lot of, like, her garden beds are all overgrown and blah blah blah. But it's kind of gotten to the point where it's like, it's more than just weeding. You know, she needs she has some arborvitaes that are diseased and need to be pulled. She has some, you know, she honestly, it'd be nice to come in with the deer, scrape some of that off, scrape one of the garden beds out completely. You know, one of them's on a very busy road, but that's more picking weeds and trimming with like hedge trimmer. There's hedge trimming, there's this, there's that. There's kind of like, she kind of has 2 yards. She has like a backyard and a side yard that kind of have like a delineation between them. And, you know, I can clean that up and kind of blend them together so they're not as separate. You know, make the yard look bigger while cleaning everything up. So, separated everything. So I told her pick and choose you know, what you want to do. If you want to do it all, great. Gave her what I thought was a very fair price while still making decent money. Ken probably will. Horse truck. Is it a horse truck? What do we got here? It's Thomas. It's our RV truck. Horses? I don't know what you're used for. Kind of look like an RV back there. It's an old school bus turned RV that I don't think they. Some of the times there is a company that uses those things for horses, but it doesn't look like these horses. I don't know what they're doing. Anyhow, back to that estimate. So I told her kind of pick and choose. Kind of told her, like, here's the dump fee for everything if we do the whole job. Here's my minimum dump fee if you just want to, like, pick out those 3 dead trees, you know, whatever. That's my minimum, you know, and go from there. So she replied with email's always hard to read, like tone and stuff, but she replied back what seemed to be a pretty happy thank you so much for the estimate, blah blah blah. So, you know, she didn't kind of confirm or deny anything, but we'll wait to hear back. I did tell her, I was like, listen, I am about a month out on a project like that, so yeah. She's like, okay, and then she's like, I'm like, you know, you're more than welcome to see if, she's like, I might try and see if somebody can do it quicker. I told her, listen, you're more than welcome to do that, but everybody's about that. Everybody's at least 3 weeks out. You know, some guys are 3, some guys are 6, somewhere in the middle. So and she's like, oh, all right. So we'll see. But that would be good. That's right behind the house. Pay attention to little friend the deer here. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Don't run. Thank you. And the other woman, you know, she just kind of always wants a little bit more every week. And I'm kind of like, yep, we're poison ivy removal under your overgrown trees is not part of your lawn maintenance package. Yep, those overgrown trees I'm not running over with the mower. And she's like, well, if you like ram the mower in there, I'm like, yep, nope. You know, there is an area that could be trimmed up a little bit nicer, but you have Christmas lights still hanging on the trees that have gotten wrapped in my string trimmer. And she's like, oh, I'm taking them down right now. Go to trim that, because it looked like they were taken down, and guess what? The same damn lights got hung up in the trimmer again. So I'm like, all right, I'm not, you know, dealing with this. But, you know, but that's just part of the business, and it is what it is. But anyway, all that to wrap up here, because I'm just about home. I'll see you guys on the flippity flop. Peace out. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.